Imagine a time when the whole world seemed to be at war. This was the sad truth of World War I, a global conflict that lasted from 1914 to 1918. Millions of soldiers from different countries fought against each other. Many people died, and even more were injured. It was a very dark time in human history. This war was different from any other war before it. New technologies meant new and terrifying weapons. Soldiers fought in muddy trenches, facing constant danger. This war was a global tragedy that affected millions of lives. The war began with a single event, the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. He was the heir to the Austro-Hungarian Empire. During his visit to Sarajevo, a young Serbian nationalist shot and killed him and his wife. Austria-Hungary blamed Serbia for the assassination. This event, like a spark, ignited a powder keg of tensions that had been building between countries in Europe. Before the war, many countries in Europe promised to protect each other. These agreements were called alliances. When Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia, their allies were pulled into the conflict. Germany, allied with Austria-Hungary, declared war on Russia and France, who were allied with Serbia. Great Britain joined the war when Germany invaded Belgium. Soon the world was divided into two sides, the Central Powers and the Allied Powers. World War I introduced a new way of fighting, trench warfare. Soldiers dug long, deep ditches called trenches. These trenches protected them from enemy fire. Soldiers spent weeks, even months, living in these trenches. Life in the trenches was miserable. It was muddy, rat-infested and dangerous. Soldiers faced disease, constant shelling and the fear of enemy attack. Part 5. New Technologies, Machines of War. World War I saw the rise of new and deadly technologies. Machine guns, tanks and airplanes changed the way wars were fought. These new weapons caused mass destruction and death. Poison gas was another terrifying weapon used in the war. It caused suffocation, blindness and death. The use of these new technologies made World War I one of the deadliest conflicts in human history. Part 6. Life on the home front. The war wasn't only fought on the battlefields. People back home also played a vital role. Women took on jobs traditionally held by men, working in factories and hospitals. Children helped the war effort by collecting scrap metal and growing food. Everyone was affected by the war, even those far from the fighting. Part 7. The Armistice. Silence falls. After 4 long years of fighting, the war finally ended on November 11, 1918. Germany, exhausted and defeated, signed an armistice, an agreement to stop fighting. The guns fell silent and the world began to pick up the pieces. The war had a devastating impact. Millions of soldiers and civilians died. Countries were in ruins. The world was changed forever. Part 8. Scars of War. A Changed World. World War I had a profound impact on the world. It led to the collapse of empires, the redrawing of national borders, and the creation of new countries. The war also left a legacy of grief, loss, and resentment. The Treaty of Versailles, signed after the war, imposed harsh penalties on Germany. Many historians believe these penalties contributed to the outbreak of World War II just 2 decades later. Part 9. Interesting Facts. Glimpses into the Great War. Did you know that animals played an important role in World War I? Horses, dogs, and even pigeons were used to carry messages, transport supplies, and assist soldiers. The Christmas truce of 1914 saw soldiers from both sides of the Western Front lay down their weapons and celebrate Christmas together. They sang carols, exchanged gifts, and played soccer. World War I led to the creation of daylight saving time. Many countries adopted this practice to conserve energy during the war. World War I was a global tragedy that had a lasting impact on the world. It serves as a reminder of the devastating consequences of conflict and the importance of peace.